Hey, I hope you're having a good day. Elon here, and today I'm joined by Stephanie, and myself and Stephanie have been working together for the last 5 months, and I've been really excited to do this because Stephanie's got some really great results, and yeah, just excited to kind of delve into it. Stephanie, how's your day been so far?
Great, thanks. It's Friday of a long weekend, so I'm happy.
Yeah, absolutely good stuff. And you got any plans for the weekend?
A bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of relaxing.
Hmm.
Yeah, just to,
Nice. Some self-care.
yeah, and some family time. It's my husband's birthday this weekend, so there'll be some cake.
Nice, good stuff. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to just kind of delving into some of your results. You've lost a couple of clothes sizes, you've got a lot stronger, you've got a lot fitter, and it's been a very gradual process, but it'd be good to kind of delve into the specifics of it. So anyone who's watching this or maybe who's thinking about joining the program, they'll be able to see exactly how you went from where you were on literally January 1st this year to where you are now, May 31st. So I was wondering, like, before we started working together, like, why was it that you were struggling before starting the 6 month program?
I just had a realization, as you know, last week that my relationship with a diet or food took a bad turn back around about the year 2001. So that's 23 years ago. It was when I first got sick and I put on a lot of weight. And I started going at the time to one of the, I won't mention the program, but one of the body programs. And then I just fast forwarded 23 years and realized, hang on, I've been on a diet for 23 years. And actually, I'm nearly at my heaviest all over again. So that was really what drove me. I have two boys and I want to be a really good example for them. And I think it would give my husband some relief to know that I'm not constantly saying to him, oh no, I can't have that because of this. So that's all changed.
Hmm. Yeah, and that was such a big mindset shift, wasn't it, from the start? Like we kind of spent the first 2 or 3 months really going through all of the nitty-gritty specifics of that, of switching from the kind of up and down yo-yo diet mindset you were in before to something that's sustainable and enjoyable and something that you most importantly can continue with, when we're finished.
Yeah, so I'm still on, like I'm in calorie deficit mode
Mhm.
still because I want to lose more weight, but I'm not obsessed with food. I don't feel guilty. My relationship with food has changed, which is the healthiest thing of all.
Absolutely, yeah. And they
I
kind
had
of,
a bread roll with egg, mayonnaise, and ham for my lunch because I went to one of my favorite bakeries
mhm.
and I happened to be there and it happened to be lunchtime. And I said, I just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't eat ham and egg mayonnaise rolls every day.
Mhm.
But when I do now, I'm just like, no, this is my moment. I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing. Like you've really learned what works well for you and how to still stay in a calorie deficit and still get results while having things like that. Or, you've had lots of nights out or dinners and a lot of different events over the last few months. So it's been great that you've.
Yeah, and I'm doing this the slow way, and it's for life. It's a journey. It's not a destination. I think actually that's the big difference for me. Always, 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 actually, I think I've just hit on a little realization for myself that always, always, always there was a destination when I get to 10 stone, when I get to 9 stone. And there's not a destination now. It's just the journey. And, as you know, I'm off to Mallorca for 2 weeks in August, and our holidays are limited. They're finite. They only come once a year or twice if you're lucky. I'm going to enjoy that holiday and I'm not going to feel remotely guilty. So it's ongoing. I am looking forward to not needing to be in calorie deficit, but I have enjoyed fabulous meals. I've enjoyed dinners out, nights out, weekends away in London, and I'm still like 5 inches off my waist and 5 inches off my upper chest, 2 inches off my neck, and I don't have a clue what I weigh, and I hope I'd never want to step on a scale again.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and it doesn't matter. Like, you're getting fitter, you're down a couple of sizes, feeling better. So it doesn't really matter what the scale says. Like, it probably has come down. It could be down half a stone, you could be down a stone. It's hard to say, but that's not what we're basing it off. So yeah, that's really good. And I suppose a good thing to get your perspective on would be something that a lot of people tend to not be a fan of is, MyFitnessPal, and the idea of just tracking is something that puts off a lot of people. So now that you've, been consistent, you've seen a lot of good results the last 5 months, like what's your perspective now on MyFitnessPal and using that?
I really like it. You just like things take a while to form a habit. So for me, the longevity of this program actually worked for me because, it was a big investment for me to make. And, at the end of the day, I work in the nonprofit sector. I don't earn a fortune. So everything has to be, monitored. But part of that was forming a habit with MyFitnessPal, and it kept me accountable. And I was able to put in the odd night I had a glass of wine and track it, not track it, but just log it, and still have a deficit and still be down at the end of the month. I thought that gave me great freedom.
Yeah, for sure. And on the investment side of things, like what were you maybe skeptical of before investing and getting started in the program?
Because I'd thrown money at programs in the past and they didn't work. Not long term, they didn't work. I wanted a long term solution. That was really it.
Hmm.
Also, sorry, I can't. The elephant in the room is my sugar habit. That was another reason for the investment because even when I was on programs where I had a 1,200 calories a day as my budget, at least 400 of them were being used on sugar, which is crazy. So I knew my nutrition wasn't what it should be. Like, I did not need this program for a sleep routine, for a self care routine, for an exercise routine, even though the weight resistance training has really helped. They're the two, the relationship with food, the relationship with the scales. And what was the third? I just said it. Relationship with the food, the weighing scales.
Uh,
Anyway,
that's all good. They were two of the big ones.
yeah.
Yeah, nice. And yeah, so what do you feel like
I'm not
will
drinking wine, by the way. I'm drinking kombucha.
Nice, I love kombucha. I just got water here, so um what do you feel like was your first big breakthrough like at what point initially did you hit that kind of point you're like, oh yeah, things are, starting to work?
When I stopped eating sugar during the day and I stopped missing it, I think for me, the simplicity of you saying to me, have your sugar, but have it at night time. Because if you have a sugary treat at 11, your brain will tell you it wants something to eat at 12. And actually, the simplicity of that went into my head and stayed there.
Mhm.
And there are weekends and there are days where I do have a bit of sugar at 11, and sure enough, by 12, I feel like I'm hungry. And it was the simplicity of the fact that logically I was making life hard for myself because I was giving myself a sugar crash in the middle of the day. And my
Mhm.
body was telling me it was hungry when I wasn't hungry at all. I just wanted more sugar.
Yeah, and just to go a little bit deeper into that, like the main issue from before was you weren't getting enough protein or fat with your breakfast, with your lunch. So then you were having a meal in the morning or lunchtime, but then you were feeling hungry, an hour or 2 hours later, and then that meant you basically were eating more carbs or sugar, same thing, because you were hungry and not satisfied. So
Yeah.
do you feel like and you haven't had a lot of protein per day. You've probably averaged what, like 80, 90 grams of protein
Yeah,
per day,
not
something
nothing
like
like, and actually, if we're all on a learning journey, if I was to say to myself, what do I need to get better at? I still need to get better at eating more protein with every meal. And you know, but I have to say, like, having a different breakfast with more protein and having a better lunch with more protein just helped fill me up.
that. Hmm. Yeah. Good stuff. Nice. And really importantly, and you alluded to it right at the start, a lot of people do Weight Watchers, they do Slimming World, they do lots of different programs, and they might lose some weight or they get some results that, they keep for a short time, but then they inevitably, if they lose a stone, they put it back on, or same with a clothes size, whatever. Um, like the approach that we're taking now, do you feel like this is something sustainable that in like a year or two you'll be able to continue with it?
Yeah, I never want to go near a diet program again. And I think I would say to anybody, it takes time to form a habit. And I've just embedded some new habits in my life, so they will stand to me over time. But as I said, I'm so cognizant that this is not a destination, it's a journey. So there
Mhm.
will be times in my life when, if I'm lucky, I'm away for a month traveling the world. You know, I might gain a bit, but I know what to do and go straight back. You know,
Yeah.
Christmas, for example, like I work hard all year. Christmas is a little bit of like, if I want my homemade lemon meringue pie for breakfast, I'll have it. But it's not every day and it's not all year.
Amazing. Good stuff. And out of all the results that you've got so far over the last 5 months, what are you happiest about?
It has to be. It has to be two things. It has to be the sugar, and it has to be removing the weighing scales from my bathroom.
Hmm.
It's in the eaves of my attic. So I have a new relationship with sugar and have a new relationship with my weighing scales because it was detrimental to me. And I won't lie, I think I told you that there were times after I measured myself that I stepped straight on the weighing scales and went, I'm not happy with what I see here. And it absolutely played with my head. So out of the last, I think it's only in the last 2 months, I actually put the scales away.
Hmm.
Um, and that has changed everything for me because I'm not going, oh, I must eat less calories today because I'm getting weighed next Wednesday. I don't give a crap. I care
Nice.
about the clothes fitting and the waistline getting smaller.
Good stuff. And with your clothes, like, do you feel like you've been able to reclaim a wardrobe, or like, what would you say is the difference between January 1st and where you are now in terms of your clothes?
Like, I'm a big winter, summer wardrobe person, putting away the winter stuff, reorganizing my wardrobe. And I can wear so many more of my clothes than I did last summer. And it'll be same come winter. Every winter I put away clothes. Every spring I put away clothes I didn't get to wear that winter because they're too small on me.
Yeah,
And the same with the summer. And my summer wardrobe has dramatically increased this year because I can wear stuff I haven't worn in a few years.
amazing. That's a really good feeling. And overall, like, what kind of impact do you feel like everything that we've done on the program has had on your life as a whole?
I'm healthier. I think that's, to sum it up, I'm healthier, just happier. Um, People stop me and say, "What are you doing? You look really well." And I tell them what I'm doing. And I also drink a lot more water. I was never a water person, and my skin feels less dry. Just I feel much better in myself.
Amazing. It's so nice to get compliments. Obviously, we don't need them, but it's always nice when someone
Yeah,
recognizes your hard work. So
yeah.
it's really cool. And nice. And final thing, I was wondering, now that you're 5 months in, we've got 1 month left. You've seen some really good results. Who would you recommend this program for?
I think I would recommend it to anyone who's in my situation who has struggled for years with different programs. Being totally honest, I would recommend it to anyone. But I think you specialize in women and busy, as you say on your website, busy professional women, women who maybe don't have that much time for self-care, to embed some new practices because you have some really good tips on sleep and on taking the self-care. As I said, I didn't need that, although it was good to get reminders. But anyone who's really struggling to take time out for themselves and or really struggling to sustain weight loss, because that's the trick. It's just like people used to, like, it got to the point where I have a couple of friends and my mother were too honest when I was on these diets, and they would say to me, I would go, Mom, I've lost a stone and a half now. Oh yeah, but you will put it all back on again. She was, thanks, Mom. I need, but I knew where she was. But I've another friend who would say the same. But Steph, your problem is not losing it. You're always able to lose it. You put it back on. And I won't let anyone say that to me now. I'll tell them to get lost.
Yeah, that tends to be, I think some people try to be supportive, but they do it in a way that's very backhanded. So they try, maybe they have good intentions, but it's not actually helpful for anybody. Um, but at least now you're empowered with all of the knowledge. You know exactly how to maintain things, and you'll get to that point, very
Yeah,
soon. And then,
yeah.
you don't have to worry about that yo-yo of up and down, which is, amazing. So yeah, really, really, really cool. And I appreciate you sharing all your thoughts, and hopefully, it's inspiring for someone else, who watches this, because there's probably going to be a lot of people who are in the same situation that you were in, let's say last December, before we even started working together, and maybe they don't believe, like, oh, am I too old to get results? Am I too busy? There's a lot of different things that tend to pop up. So it's really cool that you're walking proof of that, and should be
And
super
and
proud of yourself.
and I think it's fair to say, to remember that I fell down my stairs 2 days after I started this program and sprained my foot really badly. And I'm still, I couldn't exercise properly for at least 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. And now I'm thinking back on it. Yeah, so as soon as that happened, training wise, we just adjusted everything. We did a lot of seated exercises. We did exercises on the floor. We did everything that basically you were still able to train and get stronger, but
Um,
obviously the exercise that allowed you not to put pressure and
yeah,
rehab that
so
area.
it was fun.
So yeah, I think that's really good that you brought that up, because I think some people might think like, oh, I have to do things perfectly for 4 months in a row, 6 months in a row, whatever the time frame. But you've had a lot of ups and downs between spraining your ankle, between work events,
New job.
new job, doing things with your kids, just normal day-to-day things. And it just shows you, like, you don't have to do things perfectly. It's just once you're consistent over a long time period, you'll get the results.
Yeah.
Nice. So really appreciate you sharing everything, and was great to chat. And yeah, looking forward to seeing more of
I'll
your
send
results.
you a picture when I'm done of me in Mallorca on my holidays.
Amazing. Sounds good.
And have a lovely holiday yourself.
Thank you so much. I'm going to end the recording here, but then we can chat after.